Hi crafty friends, it's Kathy here. It's Friday and I've decided to do a new series. I think on Fridays I'm going to do fun fold cards. Within those fun fold cards I'll probably do some other things like shaped dies or shaped cards and maybe some of the flip it type cards. So today we're going to do a pretty simple fun fold card and I'm going to use Stampin' Up product. The reason that I wanted to get this video out today is I noticed that most of these products that I'm using for the papers and the stamp sets are on the last chance list. So if you're interested, you're going to want to pick those up pretty quickly. I'm going to use this Floral Delight paper. You know, I've had this stuff sitting here. I've ordered it and have never used it. Maybe on a couple cards, but it's just beautiful and I don't know why I didn't use it sooner. So I know I'm going to use this sheet here. And the colors on this are, let's see, we've got Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pecan Pie, and Pool Party. So I've pulled out my ink pads and some of my cardstock to match. So I know I'm going to use this. And I was looking through, and I have this 6x6 paper pad. It's the STU Brights, but I think this was a different year. I don't have the year on the back of my box. I just really wanted to use this Daffodil Delight. I want to use the polka dot. So I think that now what's available is this version. So you could, I mean, there's a Lemon Lolly in here. It's just a little different. This is the Subtles pack. So this has Lemon Lolly, but you see the designs are a little different. It's more like this kind of stripe. So I'm taking that, and then the cardstocks I'm going to use are Old Olive. This is going to be my base. And I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. I'll just pull out a couple pieces to make sure I have enough. And then I'm going to use Lemon Lolly. I think I just want one piece of that. And I do have a video on how I store my paper. If you want to check that out, it's a video on how I store my 8.5 by 11 paper. Okay, and then the stamp set I'm going to use. Both of these are on the last chance list. And as of making this video, they are still available. I do know that this paper says low quantity. So if you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like to pick these up, I'd really appreciate it if you would choose me as your demonstrator. I'd be more than happy to help you out. And if you need a catalog, I'd be happy to send you one. Also, I do encourage people to shop online because there are online exclusives also available. So if you have any questions, just reach out to me. So both of these, and what I'm going to use out of the Thankful Garden is I'm going to use the masks because I'm terrible at coloring. So anytime there's a stencil, I'm on it. As one of my friends from Germany said, I jumped on it like a puma. I thought that was funny. I won't say her name because she knows who she is. But anyways, if it has a stencil set, I'm buying it. So, all right. I'll probably use these dies. Let me see, because I think I'm going to cut. Oh, here's my stamp set. Sorry, guys. So I know I did another video also on how I store all my stamps and dies. I just will note that I do keep my Stampin' Up separate since they come in these DVD cases. But now that they're changing, I have ordered some of the new products that come in the new pockets. I'm going to see if I like those pockets to incorporate them with my other sets, and then maybe take these and put them in my envelopes. Or if I like their envelopes better, maybe I'll start using those. More to come on that. Anyways, the stamp set I'm going to use today is this one. I thought it kind of matched the papers a little closer. And with love, because I'm actually making this for my parents because it's their 64th anniversary. I don't know if I'm gonna cut it out or what I'm gonna do with it yet, but we'll get back to that. Okay, and then from the Impressions of Bloom, what I thought I would use, I'm not gonna use any of the stamp sets, but I'm gonna use these two ovals. Let me put that aside. Put this aside. And the colors. These are the colors I'm going to use. I've got Lemon Lolly and Daffodil Delight that I'm going to use for the floral. And then, of course, for the greenery, I'm going to use Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. And then the Pecan Pie, I think I'm going to use for the sentiment and to stamp the flower. So let's get started with that. Put all this aside. Oh, I guess I should talk about my fun fold. Let's start with that instead of starting with the flower. We'll do our focal point after. Let me put this aside. And, guys, I got my scrapbook.com magnetic mat. And I want to see if it holds. I put a piece of paper over it for the glare. I think the magnets are glaring. I did order some magnets from the Glassboard Studio, and I'm waiting for them to come. So then I won't have the glare from the magnets. But anyways, let's see if this holds with another piece of paper underneath it. So anyways, for my fun fold, we're going to start with a piece of 8.5 by 5.5. Sorry, guys. So I've got, no. I wish the scrapbook.com glassboard was a little bit bigger, but it'll be fine. Let me get this. Okay, so it's 8.5 by 5.5. And then we're going to score it at 1/4. This is a pretty easy fun fold. I thought I'd start with an easy one for the series. So 1 1/4. But knowing me, I'll find a way to mess it up. Bear with me. Okay. I find that sometimes my papers don't cut straight, so I do take a little extra time to make sure they're lined up good. So that's 1 1/4. And then we score it again at 5.5. Okay, I got my score marks. And then let's do our DSP cuts so we can put the cutter away. I'm going to cut a piece of, not this one, I'm going to cut my bigger floral piece at 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. Let's see what this is at. 5 1/4. And you got to think about it too, if it's directional or not. I don't really think this is. I think it could go either way, so I'm fine with that. So 5 what did I say? 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. I did see this fun fold on another Stampin' Up! Demonstrators channel. Let me see if I can remember what her name is. Click back here. I found it. I just watched a video from Cheryl's Stampin' Squad. This is where I got the idea for this fun fold, but I think I've seen this fun fold done by many people. Okay. So I got that one. Sorry, guys. I get so scatterbrained. I apologize. All right. And then next is going to be for my other flap. I'm going to do this one at 1 inch by 5.25. And obviously this one's not directional, so it doesn't matter which cut you make first. So I'll start at the 5 1/4. I think I'll save this strip for the inside of my card. And 5 1/4. No, I already did the 5 1/4. Oh, Kathy. 1 inch. Jeez, I'm so sorry, you guys. We had a bunch of snow this morning, and I had to hurry up and go pick my sister up at the airport, and we had to get over to my mom to get her over to sign the lease for her assisted living by 3 o'clock. So it was a little bit of a hectic day, so I am a little bit frazzled. But this is now my fun time. So let me just make sure I got this right. What am I doing wrong? Okay, 1 inch by, oh, I didn't cut it. So 1 inch by 5 1/4. That's what this needs to be. I'm so sorry if I messed you guys up. So here's my 2 pieces of DSP. I've got, they're both 5 1/4, and then this one is 2 3/4, and this one is 1 inch. So I've got my DSP cut. I have my fun fold cut. I did already cut out a piece of white for the inside. Everybody knows pretty much what that is if you want to have a little bit of green showing. This is the 4 by 5 1/4. So I already did that. And then, let's see, what else do I gotta do? This is what I'm gonna use for the ovals, but I'll do that when I cut out my flower. So I think we are done with the cutter. Let's put this away so I have a little more room here. I'm gonna put this back here. Hopefully it removes some of the glare for you guys. Let's see. All right, let's put this together. So it's pretty simple. You just fold in. And I start with the biggest, and I, make sure it's kind of straight because I practiced this earlier and it didn't quite line up because I think it wasn't folded correctly, or how sometimes your cuts are just a little bit off. So then the next one, see, it just seems like it's a little uneven here. So it matches up pretty good. It's, but see, I don't know, maybe if you guys have a tip. I use my cutter, I do the exact measurements, but for some reason I have a gap right here. But I don't know why that happens to me. I fold it at the score line. So if you guys have any suggestions, throw it in the chat, because I don't know why that happens to me. Although it's for my parents, and I don't think she's really gonna care that it's not quite meeting up. I'll do better on my next one. Yeah, it just bugs me. I don't know if my cutter's defective. Why does that always happen to me? Okay, so then we're going to put this piece here. Get my tape. This is the Altenew. I like this. Okay, so there's that piece. And then for this one, I'm going to take this. You could either do, like, if you have this paper, you could do the plaid or the polka dots. But I'm all about polka dots. Polka dots and stripes. Those are my go-tos. Okay. Maybe I should shut that so I can make sure it's lined up good. I have a T-ruler. I don't know why I don't use it. Oops. Okay, so there's that. I do like how those two colors look. I don't know if I'm going to stamp anything on the inside of this yet. I might do that off camera. So usually when I have to stamp, I wait to glue it in case I mess it up so that I can redo it. But I do know that I'm going to put the strip in, so we'll go ahead and do that. And I'll cut this down. I could do it this way too, but I think I'll do it that way. So let's cut that down to 4. No, what is that? That is Oh yeah, it is. It's 4. I'm overthinking. Sorry, guys. I'll have all these not the dimensions, but the measurements, I'll have them in the description of the video. I am still working on a blog site. It is not up and running yet, so unfortunately I can't refer you to my blog site. Okay. I like to leave a little bit of the white strip at the bottom. And it's kind of overhanging a little bit, but I'll just trim it off with my scissors. All right, so I'll glue that in once I decide if I'm going to stamp or not. So we've got that pretty much ready. Let's move on to our ink blending. You know, these stencils have little notches, so when I was practicing this, I didn't lay my stamp the correct way, so I'm going to try to figure that out. They have numbers here, so here's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let me see. I'm going to lay the stamp in here the best I can. Oh, okay, I'll do it like this. And you'll see why I'm doing that in a minute. I mean, it's not 100%, but pretty close. And I have enough room where I can cut. So let's take my pecan pie. You know what? I'm going to also cut out where I'm going to put this sentiment, but I'm just going to stick it on here. Figure out how I want to cut it out later. Oops, got a little extra ink there. Should be okay though. Oh, of course, a little too close. I'm going to move that over because if I want to use like a circle die, that doesn't really leave much room. See, I told you guys I'd mess something up. It's just a matter of time. Now for my actual stamps, I just use my chamois, but for this, I clean this with alcohol after. I'm just going to move it over a little more this way. And I should have known to stick closer to the flower instead of being so far on the edge. Okay. Flower looks good. Good enough. And I will clean that later, so I'm not wasting your time. It's nice about those Altenew tape. They're little dots and you can just rub them right off. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start with stencil 1. Let me get them lined up. I know for the first stencil, I take the longest. I just want to make sure it's 100% lined up, and I think it looks pretty good. So now I'll put my magnets down. Get my blending brushes. I'm going to start with the first layer is going to be Lemon Lolly. Oh, before I do that, the reason I'm going to put a notch here so I know how to line up the next one, make it easier. It's like a habit. I'm still holding on and I don't need to. Well, it looks like it moved just a slightly moved, but it probably isn't going to make a difference. So this was a new brush, so I didn't have to wipe it off. Oops. So it's not 100%. You still kind of have to hold it, but it does stick. It didn't mess up my flower, so I'm okay. So I will clean that later. So now stencil number 2 will line up in the same spot. It looks pretty good. And I'm going to use Daffodil Delight. And it's still yellow, so I'm going to stick with the same brush. I'm going to go a little bit darker, but I'm not going full strength because there is a third one. The third stencil, I'll go a little heavier. Okay. Number 3. That is really nice when they have those notches. It makes it so much easier to line everything up. So now I'm still going with Daffodil Delight, but I'm going to go in a little more heavy-handed. I'm curious to see when I get my glassboard studio magnets if they're stronger. So I think that turned out pretty good. I mean, I'm not the best at shading and getting all these different, shades of light and dark, but it'll work for me. So now we're going to put my ink away so I don't get it all over everything. I'm done with those. And let's start with, for number 4, when I first used this set, I was missing what I thought I was missing. It didn't fully, like this right here, it doesn't color that in. And I'm like, well, that's weird because in the pictures it's colored in, but I had just misplaced this one. So there is 5 stencils for this. Oh, before I do this, let me get my paper towels. Because I use this for a lot of greens, these are just Amazon brushes. I have all kinds of brushes, but these work really well. So I just rub off on a paper towel and get some, as much green off as I can so that my old olive is actually old olive and not a mixture of greens. I think that's pretty good. Okay. It's a little blotchy, but I think that'll smooth out. And our last stencil, and then after the stencil's done, we should wrap this card up pretty quickly. Hopefully this video doesn't get too long. I'll try to shorten it up as much as I can. So here's that 5th stencil, and that colors in that white spot from before. Now, if you wanted to mass produce this card, I would just do all of stencil 1, then do all of stencil 2, go in stages. Like if you're doing 5 cards, do all 5 with stencil 1, then move on to stencil 2. This would be a good one for mass producing, I think. All right, so now, oh wait, I still have the same color. I want to use Mossy Meadow. It's just slightly darker. If I had more time, I could have heat embossed this too. That would have been really pretty to heat emboss this stamp. This is so pretty. This is one that I will not retire. I will keep this stamp set on hand for future use. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start cutting these out. So the last time I did my tree card, I think I put my plates in the wrong way. They're really super warped now, and I think I wasn't supposed to cut directly onto my magnetic shim. It still works, but it doesn't look very pretty. Let's see. So I'm going to do, so you see there's 2 dots. They look almost the same size. It's really hard to figure out which one's bigger, but I think it's the dotted one that cuts out the smaller piece on the inside. And you can use it as a frame too. I'm not going to use it as a frame. So I want my smaller piece to be this one. And let's use this one for the outside shape. And then let's get the die. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I wonder how it would look. This is just like an Echo Park die set. I don't have a really good one for Stampin' Up! For this. I think I'm going to try that. It still has the little notches in, but I don't think it's going to... Try it out. The, you know how some of the dies come and you have to snip them apart? Just line this up as best I can. All right, I will cut these and be right back. All right, guys, I think I got it. Okay, so here's my card. And I think what I'm gonna do, I'm going to glue it down just on this side. Or I wonder if I should make a belly band. I could make a belly band and attach this to it. I think I might do that so it keeps it shut. But let me try to see if I can flatten these out with my bone folder. Oops. Okay, so it's still not sitting down flat. Maybe once I put this on and have the flower on it, it'll hold a little better. But I could do the belly band. But it's my mom. It'll be hard for her to open it, so it's just an option. You could do a belly band if you wanted to keep it more shut, but I'm just going to glue it on so she doesn't have troubles figuring out how to open the card. So let's get this put together. And of course, my dog is ringing the bell again. Okay, so you see how it has just a little lining? Okay, and then we could pop that up too. So, you know, I cut this out. It has a little more white around here, so I didn't get it quite lined up, but I'm okay with that. The next card I do, I'll make sure that I position that die a little better. So let me get this on. You could put this up on dimensionals, but I think I'll just keep it just like this. So let me go put my dog out, and I'll come right back to you guys. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I don't mean to complain about my dogs. I love them. They're so cute. I will put a picture at the end of the video for you guys to see who I'm talking about. I have two boxers, Cody and Shadow. Shadow's the older one. He's the black one. And Cody is still considered a puppy, so he's pretty crazy. Okay, so let me get this finished so I can get you guys out of here. I think I'll just put this. I can probably put some jewels on this too, but I don't know. Do you think more in the middle or down here? I think because there's so much white here, I think I'm going to put it down here. And I wanted to use the oval since this is an oval too, instead of using a like a straight piece, like a rectangle. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I can always change it. And let's get this on this. So we got to tape it. I'm going to cut this off too. I want to center it kind of. So the Fun Fold I watched, she did something a little different. But I decided, you know, I wanted something a little bigger. That's why I chose this oval. So I'm just going to put it on this side. I'm going to stand up so I can see if this looks centered. I think I would recommend a belly band if I were giving this to somebody else, but since, like I said, my mom might get confused with the belly band, I'm just going to leave it like that. Let me go see if I have any jewels. These are my Stampin' Up! Ones. Let's see. I think I kind of like these. Kind of like these because they're flat and they, you know, they look like they have multicolors, but I think I'll use these ones here. They kind of have the yellows and the greens in them. This is where I struggle. I don't know if these have adhesive on them. They do. Perfect. So one there. I think I'm going to do one in each center. Should I do green? No, I'll stick with this. One there. And one there. So I think I'm just going to hand write in. So let's go ahead and put this in. So guys, I just noticed I do have some little indentations here from this because I didn't cut these tabs off good enough. So I think when you have something like this, make sure you cut right up to the edge. I think I can fix it by, you know, I like odd numbers. You know, that would be still odd numbers if I put one on each one. And if it doesn't look right, I'll just redo the sentiment, but I'll do it off camera. Oh, it moved. Hang on. I think that's okay. So anyways, that's the card. I hope you liked it. And again, I plan to do fun folds, flip its, or shaped cards on Fridays. So if you want to see any of those, please subscribe to my channel. And if you like this, please give it a thumbs up. And just a reminder that a lot of these products are on the last chance list. So if you're interested in them, you're going to want to jump on those because once they sell out, they're gone. And if you don't already have a demonstrator, I would love to help you out. Thanks again, guys. Have a great one. Bye.